Alright, chat. So I got another video. So let me get a little comfortable real quick. Or this just in case it's a little loud, but alright. I got a video about a time I was living with these white people, which is my closest. One of them was my closest friend, and he actually helped me, like, bring me in because I was getting homeless at a point. Not gonna lie to you, I was all like, okay, let me move in, see how that goes, because I don't want to just stay at, my family's crib and just sit there all the time. But things happen, and let me just tell you how that works, man. And the reality of how these people are, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bruh. Like, alright, sorry, I had something in my damn mind. But man, I live with this dude, and I'm not gonna disclose his name, but let's just say his name is Tim or something like that. Tim, he was a cool dude. He is an entrepreneur. He brought me into the detailing business, and all it requires with detailing is, you clean the inside of a car. Outside, they call it interior, exterior. You make good money doing car detailing. And then there's paint corrections. That's where the real, I'm telling you, you make, like, money. Like, and I understand why he was doing the things he was doing. He would always tell me excuses, like, because he charged me rent there too, but he also didn't pay me good. So he always tell me excuses when I would go detail a car, right? And I'll go detail cars by myself. Obviously, this is an entrepreneur job. He made it himself up. He's trying to make less money by not hiring anyone. And he says he doesn't trust people, but he trusts me, so, and I got my own vehicle, so he has me paying for my own gas, the products, and that's how life goes. When you got a friend and you think they're your closest friend, usually they wouldn't make you go through what I just went through. Like, I had to pay for all that, and I was going and detailing these cars. I was going 60 miles every day minimum. 60 miles, 120 every day, 60 to 120 miles every day. Like, I racked up 15,000 miles in a year on my truck, and I had a lot of car problems. And when I brought that up to him, he would always shove it off and be like, oh, your car can go 15,000 miles without oil changes. I'm like, what do you mean by that? What? Like, but that's, when you have a friend like that, they don't care. And this man, he was one of those type of friends where he's not the same race as me. I'm mixed, obviously. But obviously, I portray, you see, I'm black. I'm more black than the white side. But we're all mixed. But that, if you see my family, and I ain't even gonna get into that, but you'll tell. I'm not no racist. I'm not hating on people that are racist, but this man was the worst of the worst. Like, he would always make up some type of jokes, and then it's cool and dandy. Like, I'm not a hater or anything, but it's just like he would just always bring up something about black people, like saying, and then he would say the N-word. I'm like, yo, I live here. I'm just trying to work and make money, bruh. Like, it's bad enough he bringing up and this was back in the time where George Floyd died. Oh man, don't let me get started with that. This man was getting in on that whole situation. He was making fun of it, and it was cool and dandy. But there's the real money where I really lost out on. And it was when I was working for him doing paint correction too. And the crazy part about that, paint correction makes you can make thousands, like hella money, but it takes a lot of manual labor. Like, you gotta put a lot of effort into it. You can't mess the paint up. Once you mess up, you messed up. You like gotta pay for that whole paint job. So with paint correction, it requires buffing, polishing, cutting, you know, and then there's adding clear coat and stuff, and that gets even more tedious. But there's times I've done multiple jobs, and there's this one job on a trailer, right? He made $3,000. We did a 12-hour job, right? He made $3,000. And you know what I got out of that? And we drove, not to say 30 miles there, 30 miles back. I got 120 bucks out of that. Like, 12-hour job. You making 3 bands, and he said 120. I was cool with it. And how it worked, man, with that job is I would do interiors. Interior exteriors can get you from 120 to 240 sometimes. So I did an interior for him, which was to be charged for 120 bucks. I drive 30 miles out, right? I pay my own gas, I pay for the products, and then he gives me 40 or 60 bucks. It takes me sometimes 4 to 6 hours because we gotta make that car look way new. And I do a pretty good job. With the interior, it requires like headliners. That's a lot of work to make sure the headliners is cool. You know, just like this, car seats, like, it's crazy. That's the wild thing. These jobs is really tedious, especially in the sun. I'm in a hot weather state. This state is very dry, and we do not take lightly on, you know, just taking all our time in a car working. But, you know, that type of job, I noticed it really wasn't me, because if I'm gonna work that type of job, I might as well try it myself and do what he did. Because you should, if you're gonna work for a friend and then you want to make the same money they're making and not have to, you know, be all like taking their little handy downs and then wonder why you never making what your work ethic is, or you think you're worth. Just stay there and learn, literally. And then as you learn, you can just apply these jobs to other people and build your own business the same way he did. And all it took was less effort and a little bit of pain and suffering sometimes. Sometimes you gotta listen they bull crap. You gotta get paid under the pay, neglect your car, just take a loss sometimes. But 2 losses make 2 W's. So you never know, guys. But I just want to share that story because that's what I went through, and I never see it as hate or anything. I see it as a learning lesson. You should always want to learn why you lost or why you won, and always improve on yourself to be the best you can be, because one day you might just blow. But with that, guys, I say stay at it and stay active. And drink that water, bro, for real, for real.